Yo, it's 3 in the morning. Who in the world is pooping outside so loud? Damn, it's just another 350Z outside. But other than the nasty sound, 350Z is not that bad. Comes with good horsepower, good torque, NA, FR, it looks halfway decent. And it's also great for drifting because less stuff needs to be done to the car to get it qualified for drifting. And it's easier to get angle in the car than a 240SX. The only problem is it just doesn't sound as good. But if you're looking to buy a 350Z, you've came to the right place, because today we're going to do an ultimate buyer's guide and pretty much tell you everything you need to know. First, we're going to go over the years, the trims, then we're going to go into the common problems. After that, we'll go on parts that will add value to the car. And last but not least, we'll talk about the 5 rarest colors that you can get for the 350Z so you can stand out a little bit more.
I'm special!
The 350Z was in production from 2002 to 2008, but had a couple different engine variants throughout the years. So between 2002 and 2005, they had the VQ35DE. And this engine produced 287 horsepower and 274 foot-pounds of torque, which wasn't bad for a car that only weighed 3,200 pounds. But in 2005, because of the 35th anniversary of the Fairlady Z, they decided to give us something more special and gave us a VQ35DE Rev Up. This came on the 35th anniversary edition and the track edition if you got the manual, and in 2006, it came in all of them and had 300 horsepower instead of 287. But the only problem is that we lost torque, and now the torque went down to 260 foot-pounds. So it's kind of like a trade-off. Which one do you want? And later on in the year, they came out with a new 6-speed called the CD009. But this motor only lasted for 2 years, and in 2007, they came out with the motor all of you guys want, the VQ35 HR. The HR came with 306 horsepower and 268 foot-pounds of torque. But the reason why all of you guys want this over the DE is for the dual throttle body design, and Nissan raised the red line to 7,500. The red line for the Rev Up was only 7,000. Because of this, it gained more torque throughout the rev range, providing a better driving experience than the DE engines. And because of more power, the 350Z got a hood bulge. And also this year, they unveiled the 350Z Nismo model for the mass market, which was based on the Super GT Championship car. This came with numerous upgrades, but we'll talk about that later when we talk about the different trim levels. Actually, let's just talk about it right now.
Right now, baby!
So the base trim for this car is kind of what you expect. It's base.
Well, duh.
And does not have an LSD, cruise control, or heated seats, and then the smaller 17-inch wheels. When you move up to the enthusiast trim, it has an LSD, traction control, auto dimming mirrors, steering wheel controls, and has nice shiny aluminum pedals. After that, you move up to the performance edition. This is where you step up to the big boy wheels and get the 18s. It could possibly have Brembos too if the guy was balling at the time of purchase. It's gonna have front air dams and a rear spoiler. The VDC was replaced with standard traction control, so you have more control over the car. The next trim is gonna be track. This will definitely have Brembos. This guy was 100% balling and has GPS as an option to add to the car. The touring edition has Bluetooth, premium Bose sound system, heated seats, a VDC, VLSD, xenon headlights, and GPS and Brembos are possibly included. This is more for those people that kind of want a sporty car but still enjoy all their luxuries. And last but not least, in the normal trim levels is the Grand Touring. Brembos comes standard on this edition with lightweight forged wheels, front lip, rear spoiler, and a rear diffuser. And if you get super lucky and find one of these, the Nissan 350Z Nismo Edition. This is a special edition that came out in 2007, and you only could get it till 2008, so only 2 model years. This came with raised forged alloy wheels and a Nismo exhaust. It had a beautiful Nismo body kit. The suspension had a multi-link system with front and rear dampeners produced by Yamaha. And for the brake setup, they had the Brembo 4-pot fronts and the 2-pot rears. And something really cool they did was they sent the 350Z Nismo out to get everything seam welded instead of spot welded like on a normal 350Z, making the handling better than ever. Now that we got the trims out of the way, let's move on to the common problems you might face when checking out a 350Z to buy. So the first issue that you might face is the throttle body issue. Pretty much these cars have a lot of carbon buildup in the throttle bodies, and if you don't clean it out, your car can stall or surge. And when you clean it out, you also might have problems, because when you clean out the carbon buildup and you don't reset the computer in the car, it's still accounting for the carbon buildup, which will make the car have a higher idle. So an easy way to fix this is just disconnect the battery for a couple minutes, reconnect it, drive it around, and it should be good to go. Another big one is the fuel dampeners. If you hear a ticking noise coming from the engine bay, that is most likely the fuel dampener. Good thing fuel dampeners aren't too much. There's also a problem with failing navigation units. I would honestly just stay clear of these. Get one without the navigation unit and then just upgrade to a newer radio. That would save you just so much time and effort with that. And another reason why your car could be stalling is if you have a faulty camshaft or crankshaft positioning sensor. And when this happens, your car has a possibility of not even starting or just randomly stalling. Another big problem with these cars is that they consume more oil than a usual car, especially the rev up models from 2005 to 2006. They consume more oil than any other, but all of them still consume more than a regular car. So just check the dipstick more than usual, ask the owner if he checks the dipstick more than usual, and just make sure that oil is at a consistent good level so nothing bad will happen to your engine. If you're hearing some clicking from under the car, that's most likely your drive shaft, and all you have to do is re-grease the drive shaft splines and the collars and you'll be good to go. And the last common problem is synchro wear in the transmission, especially since these cars were dogged on throughout their whole entire life. The synchros start to wear out, and that is a huge repair. I took the walk to bowling.
Shut up.
Now let's move on to the parts you want to look out for when checking out the 350Z. First item that would be amazing to have on your 350Z that you're looking at is a CD009 transmission. This is the best transmission they offered. They had a CD001, a CD006, and the best one by far is a CD009, so just try to get that if you can. The next one is you want to get the 2007 to 2008 HR edition if you have the money. If not, the DE and the rev up are totally fine, but if you want the best of the best, the HR is the one to get. For wheels, you want to be looking for those Ray Forge wheels that came on the Nismo or on the Grand Touring. Sometimes they get swapped on a lower trim. These cars are pretty old now, so parts are being traded back and forth, and if they have those on there, those are pretty cool and go for a good chunk of money. And the last thing that I want to tell you guys to look out for is any Nismo parts. Like I said, these cars are old, so parts are being swapped and traded by owner to owner, and if there's any Nismo part, if there's a front bumper, rear bumper, or spoiler, or anything else, those parts will definitely add value because they are pretty limited and rare. So now let's move on to the 5 rarest colors you can get. 4 of them are pretty cool, and 1 of them I do not know why is on this list, but it is. So first off, we're looking at the Brickyard 350Z. This was offered in 2003. I thought this color was going to be like an ugly red that would be like the color of our brick, obviously because the color's name is Brickyard, but this turns out to be like this beautiful dark red, almost purple. And oh my gosh, dude, this color is so beautiful. Like in the sun, it almost just looks purple, and that is so badass. But they only made 2,404 of these, so they are quite rare. Next up on the list is the Ultra Yellow. This was offered in 2005. Honestly, there is nothing special about this color. It just looks like a single stage yellow. It doesn't shape shift in the light or anything like that. But it is quite rare. This would definitely be one of the colors that I would never get. And here we go. This is the liquid aluminum that you had to pay $1,000 extra to get. This one was offered in 2004, and I do not know why anybody would pay $1,000 extra to get a basic silver. It does look really shiny, it does look nice, but at the same time, why would you spend $1,000 more on a car just for it to look like any other car on the road? If you bought this car brand new, you definitely need to screw loose. Fourth on this list is going to be Solar Orange. This ugly color was offered in 2007, and it's just a basic orange, and it honestly looks like a color you get from Mako. I would definitely steer clear of this color and get the 5th one on the list, Interlagos Fire. I think this is my #1 favorite rare color for this car. It is absolutely gorgeous. It almost looks brown, but at the same time it looks red, and at the same time it looks purple. It's kind of just like the Brickyard 350Z, except newer. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. If you have any other car you want a buyer's guide on, leave that in the comments down below. Join the Discord, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.